Yes! I did it! Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a NASA engineer right now. Woo! I do not like technology. I do not like technology. It never does what I want it to do. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Alrighty. I hope everybody is doing well this Thursday afternoon. It was only a matter of time before technology almost made me want to chuck my phone out the window. So thank you guys for sticking with me and joining me on this Thursday. It's 2:09 right now, but that's okay. I'm looking behind me. Let's see, is it still raining? Yes, it's still raining and gray. Hopefully we're gonna see some nice flowers popping up. The trees will be blooming soon. Get some nice spring rain. So let's welcome spring with this little painting with some blossoms and gold finches. This is a fun one, and I've discovered this neat trick that I can save canvas on by painting them in my little notebook here first. So I'm saving on canvas, so that's good. And I realized that I paint the models on canvas when I'm showing them live at the arena, and people can try to see them from far away, but there's no need to do that now. So I can save canvas, and I got my little notebook. By the way, if you need another thing to buy from Michael's, if you just can't help yourself and like shopping from Michael's, I recommend this guy. This is a watercolor sketchbook, so the pages are super thick, and you can pretty much use any medium here. And I've just been sketching away lately, but it's kind of fun to test out your ideas before you commit to a canvas if you're painting on canvas. So highly recommend, and I'm not getting paid to say that. Anyway, so let's get rocking and rolling. I've got my usual lots of white here, a little bit of black, and a little bit of our primary colors. And I'm going to start with Old Faithful, my large angled brush. And we're going to work in this this glow in the center. So we're just going to fill up a nice big circle of white. Need a lot more. I'm going to put on quite a bit of white here, just to make sure my color is soft. All right. So I'm just putting in a big old glob, well, not a glob, a nice big circle of white to build up my glow. And yeah, I'm not going to be shy here. I'm going to put in quite a bit of white paint here. Going all around. It's pretty much a circle that's sitting in almost the full size of my canvas here. All right. So then for this really pretty blue, this is actually straight blue with a teeny smidgy smooch of yellow to get this more of a almost like a robin's egg blue. Okay, so I'm going to go to my plate of color. I still have that white paint in my brush, and that's totally fine. I'm going to tap into some blue and just a little smidgy smooch of yellow. And I'm going to start working on this, I don't know what you would call this, a robin's egg blue, almost like a jade. And I'm going to start working around my glow. So I'm going to leave some of this white. So let's do something like this. And I'm just going to start blending outward because I wanna soften that color before I start going in, and then I can start going inwards towards that center. So if you find that you've got a harsh contrast here and you want it to be lighter, I would work off the rest of your paint on your canvas just to get it off your brush. And then if you want to soften up that edge right there, I can wipe off the excess paint I have on my brush in case it's too dark. And then I can go into some white and I can play with softening that up. Yeah. And then I can repeat that process. So my brush it's still got that blue on there. I'm going to wipe that off. If you want to be extra safe, you can go ahead and rinse your brush clean to get any of that blue that's left on there. And I can go back, make sure that's nice and dry. And I can go back into my white and I can soften that up even more. There, so now I've got a nice soft blend going towards the inside. And now I can start working my way out, and I want to get the outside darker. Hello, Charlie. All right. So I want to work on getting a bit darker as I go out. So I'm going to go revisit this. Oh, I need to make more. Grabbing some of that blue. Smidgy smooch of yellow. And I'm going to put a ring around this area that I have already, and I'm just blending inwards, going a little bit in and then going back out. That's a fun color, right? So yeah, just the white that I already had on my brush, some blue, and then a little smidgy smooch of yellow. That'll give us a nice kind of robin's egg blue. That's a fun color. This color makes me think of my mom. This is probably one of her favorite colors. Ooh, speaking of which, Mother's Day is coming up, right? Ooh, this would be a nice Mother's Day present. I know some of you moms and daughters are painting together. Gosh, last day of April. How about it, guys? We survived April. I'm going to go back into some of that blue, smidgy smooch of yellow, and I'm just going to keep building outwards, getting a little bit darker as I go. So you can see here I'm getting a little scratchy, and that just means I need to make more paint. Just need to make more paint. And I'll do that. Smidgy smoochy yellow. Oh yeah, that's nice and dark. I'm going to take that out to the edge there. Work my way in, get some of that blend happening. That's fun. Oh, I need this color today. Woo! It is a gray day. But I am seeing a lot more green in my backyard, so that's nice. It'll be nice once those leaves on the trees are there. Oops, I grabbed white instead of yellow. There we go. So I'm just building on this color, this blue plus smidgy smoochy yellow color, and working my way out. Ooh, this is going to be pretty with that pink. All right. Just a little bit more for me, and I'll fill in those corners. Trying to get all of that paint out of my brush so I don't have to make more. There we go. All right. So again, if we're feeling like we want to blend something like this a bit more, I still have that color on my brush. I can tap into just a smidgy of white. Just a smidgy of white. And I can see if I can get some blend. Yeah. So a little goes a long way. I didn't need a whole lot of white there. Let's try a little bit more. I can get this area down here. It's funny looking at my canvas in real life and then looking up at the screen on my laptop. It doesn't look very blendy in the laptop, probably because of the weird lighting. But we can try to get more blendy. Something like that. Yeah, that's fun. Alrighty. Cool. Let's see, am I about right the same color? Yeah, I almost got it. All right. So now we're going to work on our main branches that are peeking in to our painting here. Okay, so I'm gonna still use my big brush, but I'm gonna want to wipe off any excess paint there and give this brush a nice good clean rinse. You can use whatever brush suits your fancy, really. Alrighty, so let's take off that excess paint here. And give that brush a good clean rinse. By the way, next month, well tomorrow, tomorrow is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I will be continuing my Thursdays at 2 o'clock here at Jana Marie Foundation. A very important month for them, of course. So I am happy to continue my Thursdays for the month of May with Jana Marie. All right. So my brush is nice and clean, and now I'm gonna start thinking about where I want these, oops, I got some little drip of water there. So if that happens to you, you can just kind of blot it up, and it might take off your paint like it did there. But guess what? I'm gonna put a branch there. No problemo. Okay, or you can kind of buff it out, but I'm gonna put a branch there. Anywho, so I'm gonna start thinking about where I want these main branches, and these are kind of thick, relatively speaking, I guess. And we want to make sure that we're leaving room for our birds, right? So we're gonna make sure that we don't go too crazy here. because that's where I want to put my birds. You don't have to keep your birds dead center, but that's kind of the idea. All right, so I'm just going to go into my white paint and really fun and sketchy. I'm not thinking too hard. I'm just going to start off the edge and start pulling inward. And I'm going to go over my little boo-boo over there where I dropped some water, and kaboom, it's a branch. Don't have to worry about that anymore. And this is just, we're kind of getting a plan. We're kind of sketching things out. So my branch is definitely blending here with the blue paint. And that's fine, because I'm just kind of figuring things out where I want these things to be. And I got another little guy coming in from here. And I got my big guy coming over here. And we are just having fun, sketching things out. Nothing fancy. This is definitely not the end product yet. Just kind of playing with paint. All right, something like that. And then, for the most part, our secondary branches are going to be done with a smaller brush and black paint. So yeah, that's kind of the idea here. Now that we've got those planned out, we can set the white paint aside. We want those to dry a bit, and then later on we can go back over with some more white paint. So for now, I'm going to move to a smaller brush. I'm going to take off my excess paint from this guy and give this a good clean rinse. And now I can move on to a smaller brush for some black outlining for our branches. So taking off that excess paint, giving the brush a good clean rinse. Oh, and I just dripped more water on my canvas. All right, I'm just gonna let that dry, because if I blot that'll probably take off all that paint down there. So I'm just gonna have you just sit there and be good and just dry. Okay, I gotta stop putting my cup over my canvas to wash my brush here. Okay. Well, today is just full of bloopers on Paint with Jackie. Okay. So, I've washed my brush. Oh my gosh, talk about bloopers. I just ripped it off. Oh my goodness. Cross my fingers, knock on wood. Nothing else happens. Okay. So I'm going to a smaller brush. Let's see, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? I'm going to go to my smaller angled brush here. And now I'm going to go to my black paint, and I'm going to start kind of, I guess I'll hold off on the outlines for the big white branches, but I'm going to start pulling out these secondary branches, okay? I kind of like in the original sketch that it is pretty sketchy. You know, it's not perfect. These are not solid, bold black branches here. So just kind of have fun pulling out your branches from those larger white ones. All right. Going in here with my black paint and using my sketchbook as a guide. Let's see, I kind of have this one coming out of here. And something over here. Just really, well, this is going to be a fun one, I can tell. Whenever I just can make branches and not think and worry too hard about it, that's a fun painting for me. Let's go out of here. So I lied. I said I wasn't going to outline my white branches, but I'm a liar and I'm going to do it. I just decided, it just kind of helps me better plan where my secondary branches are going to be going. Now remember, don't go too crazy here, right? Because we're putting blossoms on. So we don't have to get too married to our branches. We don't have to fall in love with them and get ready to move in with them, because we're gonna put blossoms on them. So if you make a branch and you don't like it, cover it up with blossoms. Okay? All right. Just outlining a little bit here. Pulling out some things here. So in case you were wondering, I do like the flat angled brushes. They're super helpful for making fine lines, more so than like a round pointed brush. More so than a round pointed brush, because the flat brush will hold more paint in a line pattern already. So if we look at the brush straight on, like that brush is already made in a line shape. So and that's what's helping us out. The round brush, not so much. That's why I'm a big fan of the angled flat brush for fine lines. Okay, enough yapping about that. Just gonna keep on pulling out branches and let the brush and those bristles do their job for you. Just kind of let them do their thing. Trust the brush. Oh man, I miss you guys so much at the arena, because I know you'd be laughing and making fun of everything I say right now. It's not fun when you're talking to yourself here. All right. Let's get some guy over here. Oh, and we cannot forget to get our branch down across the middle here, because that's where our birdies are going to be sitting. So I want to make sure I give them a good perch. Something relatively horizontal that goes across the middle there. So don't forget to give them a nice spot to hang out on. Mine will be like right there. There. Something like that. Fun. Oh, I'm just loving this color that we found here with the blue and the yellow. Good stuff. All right, now my white branches should be at least tacky enough that I can put another coat of white paint on there. So I'm going to do that. All right, so let's just get a nice coat of white on top, and I'm still mixing with some blue, so that tells me that I'm going to need to put on another coat later. That's okay. Fun, fun. I like this one. I love me some birch trees. I love painting birch trees. All right. And I have no idea if they actually blossom with pink, but who cares? This is my painting that I found on the internet. My interpretation. All right. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna let that dry a bit. I will hit that up with another coat of white. Okay. So for now, yeah, let's prime our birds. Okay, so I'm still gonna work with white paint, but I'm gonna move to a smaller brush. And actually, I got a whole mess of brushes here, so I need to clean these off like a good artist would. Get that excess paint off of that big brush. Get that nice and clean for later when I'm going to put another coat of that white on there. Get that nice and clean. I'll leave that brush with the black on it because I'll use that for later. All right, so now I'm going to prime my birds because I want to make sure they have a nice white spot to live on. So when we put the yellow on top, then the yellow's really gonna pop nicely. So I first painted these guys with a little bit of white and let that dry so I could put the yellow over top, and the yellow will get nice and bright. Okay, so this looks pretty white and bright, but I'm going to prime them anyway. So here we go. Here's our lesson on the bird shape. And we're priming right now, so it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Okay, and in fact, we're just doing the head and the body first. Hey, James! It's been a while. So I don't know how long ago you messaged that. Okay, so for the prime for these birds, we're just doing the body and the head. So what does that look like? Well, I'm gonna imagine where my bird on the left is, and he's looking towards the right. So his body has a bigger hump going inwards on the right side. Okay, and so basically, I mean, the body's basically an egg shape, but I do want to give that hump for his belly. And I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just bringing that in, giving him a nice belly. Maybe you can't see that at all because it's so light. Okay, as I just put my hand in wet paint. And then he's just going to get a round head that sits on top. So let me do that in my notebook or something. Let's see. Get a scrap paper here. So in black paint, this is what the shape of that bird looks like. So he's got like a, that's kind of exaggerated, that hump in the belly area, and then his head sits on top like that. Okay, so that's for our bird on the left. Again, he's looking right, so his belly is facing the right. And then for our bird on the left, mine is just a little smaller, but same idea, he's facing left, so his belly is going to be out left, and his head sits on top. And we don't have to worry about his beak or anything just yet. Those are our basic bird shapes. And later, when we do the yellow and the black, we can work out the other details. But yeah, this is just the basic shapes that you're doing in white right now. Okay, so you're priming in white. Don't do them in black. I just did them in black to kind of demo. Okay? All right. So I'm just going to prime my other bird here. And don't worry if you think it looks like a blob. Animals are really hard to draw and paint. But as soon as we put the wing and the tail on and the beak, everybody's going to know that this is a bird. I promise. All right, so my birds are primed. You can't really see at all, but they're there. Okay. So now let's have fun with blossoms. So now's a good time to do blossoms because we're letting our branches dry a bit to do another coat of white. We're letting our birdies dry, so when we put their feathers on and stuff, that'll be ready for us. So here's what I recommend, folks. We are going to have fun with these blossoms. We're going to have fun with different kinds of pinks, okay? And so pink, what is pink? It's white and red. So you can have fun with getting darker, so more red, or lighter, less red and more white. You can play with maybe a lavender, mixing some blue and red. I mean, maybe you can have orange, whatever. This is your painting, right? So have fun mixing colors, and also have fun if you have different brushes. Have fun figuring out what kind of shape your brush makes when you stamp it, okay? Even if you only have one brush, so let's say I only have this big angled brush here, okay? Well, I can have fun figuring out, okay, what does it look like when I stamp it straight up and down? So I get these kind of parallel lines. What if I stamp it just the corner? Just the skinny corner. I get something like that. What about the obtuse corner? If you had any paint on there, maybe I could show you. So the obtuse corner. Okay, so just kind of have fun. What can your brush do if you just give it a good old stamp? Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see what this round brush does. So I'm going to get some red and some white. And I'm going to do a bunch of different kinds of pinks. So this will maybe just be my base pink. And then I can add highlights with a lighter pink and lowlights with a darker pink. All right, let's see what we got here, folks. Going back to my sketch as a guide. And something I always tell my artists is don't worry about putting blossoms where you don't have a branch. Okay, so some people will get stuck like doing this, just like a perfect blossom on every branch. Okay, and that's totally fine. But I like a really full, kind of crazy bow, if you will. So don't worry about putting a blossom out in the middle of no man's land where there aren't any branches, because we're just gonna build it up and have fun. So that's what I'm gonna do. Do. So I'm going to need a lot more paint because we're going to be filling up this canvas here. There we go. Just going crazy with all my blossoms. This is fun. Oh, I love these two colors together. I think 6-year-old me, this was like my favorite color combination. And I wanted all my clothing to look like this. Again, I want to leave my birds open here. Ooh, fun, fun, fun. All right, I think I'm going to add my highlighting pink. So I'm just going to add more yellow. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to add more white. I often confuse white and yellow. Oof. All right, so I'm just adding more white. And now I can add more of a highlighted pink to some of those blossoms. Oh yeah. Fun, fun, fun. And then I can, if I want, I can make a darker pink. So more red. And I can give some low light. Some darker blossoms here. Cool. How are we doing? Just checking on my sketch here. So what I kind of like about my sketch is that the blossoms look a little bit bigger and just crazier. So, and to do that, I can just kind of, I'm just doing a little circly stroke here, and I can just kind of use the paint that's already down there, and I can just add some kind of circly curly Q strokes, and that's going to kind of fill things out a bit. You don't have to do that, but I kind of liked the free form of the original sketch here. So I can just kind of squiggle. Ooh, I like it. It looks like cotton candy. So yeah, maybe you want more uniform stamped blossoms, or you can do little curly Q blossoms. It's up to you. This is your painting. Let's see, and then it looks like I did some swoops of like a more reddish pink. To kind of give some definition. Oh yeah, that's fun. That's fun. All right. And how about some highlights? Some more white pink. So yeah, there's really no wrong way to go about these blossoms. What I recommend is I would find something you like and then just be uniform with that choice. Thanks, James. Fun. How we doing, y'all? Oh, I so needed this color in my day today. I hope you guys are having fun and enjoying some color on this rainy day, at least here in State College. All right. My branches are still wet and tacky, so I'm going to let those dry. Let's go to our birds. Even if they're not bone dry, we can still work on them. So I'm going to wipe off any excess paint I got in my brush from my blossoms. Any of you folks who are new to watching, these videos will save on the Jana Marie Foundation video section, so you can find those there. I've also been downloading them and putting them up on my YouTube playlist. So you can find all the videos that I've been doing with Jana Marie Foundation, and on my own page, Paint with Jackie, I've been putting those up on a YouTube playlist. So you can find everything that we've been up to. All right. Let's do these birds, these golden finches, okay? So first part is going to be real simple. I'm just covering what we've already primed with yellow paint, so the body and the head. So real simple, just covering that primed area. In yellow. I have not seen any yellowbirds lately, but we've got cardinals and robins, a woodpecker in our backyard here. My cat loves watching those cardinals. All right, so I've just covered my primed area with just straight yellow paint. Okay. Easy peasy. Now let's work on a very fine outline in black, if you wish, and then we're gonna pull out these wings and tail. All right, so I think I'm going to go to my angle. Actually, I'm a liar. I'm just gonna use my round brush, but use it with black paint. All right, so whatever brush you want to use here. I hope you guys can't hear my cat coughing, poor thing. Willie, that's not attractive. Anybody have a cat that coughs? Our cat has been coughing for I don't know how long. And took it to the vet, and she wanted a video of the cat coughing just to kind of see what it was, and she never got back to me, and I never followed up with it. So yeah, little coffee cat. Okay, so I'm just gonna lightly outline my birds here just to give it some definition, and later on I can give it their beak. But I'm gonna go in to the body in the back a little bit, and I'm just gonna pull out this wing. Okay, so I just kind of went in the back and just pulled out this wing, and this is just, it almost looks like a black carrot. Okay, can you see that? Kind of rounds in the body, in the back area, and then pulls out to kind of a curved point like a carrot. Okay, so that's our wing. And then, whoops, knock into the camera stand. Okay. Oh, I realize you can see my carpet here. That's fine. Okay. Move this up a bit. All right. We've got our wing, and now I'm going to go in the bum, and we can pull out a tail, like so. Something like that. And same thing on the other bird. Whoops, that was a little bit thicker than I wanted. All right, and then pull out this wing over here. Again, black carrot. And tail. Something like that. Then once we got those down, so like many birds, they have sort of a mask. So where their eye is and where their beak is kind of comes together in like a mask. So I'm going to give that eye covering, and then from there I can pull out their beak. And it kind of goes down their neck. Like that. I think this wing should come out just a little bit more. Something like that. And then his face. Something like that. And these birds are not perfect. They don't look like the original. That's totally fine. And then what's going to be super cool, and because the black is still wet, we've got to be careful, but I'm going to take some white paint and I'm just going to kind of give some white streaks to that wing. That's going to help it look more bird-like. Or wing-like, more like feathers, I should say. There. I do think my wing there is a little too long. So you know what? I'm going to put a blossom on top of it. So that wing for me is a little too long. I'm going to put a blossom on top. And hopefully no one will ever know. Ta-da! Oh, look. It's a blossom. Nothing to see here. All right. So our last little move here is going over our branches in some more white, and then we can put some black detailing on there. So I'm going to go into my white paint. I'm just going to fill in my branches. They should be dry enough for this, even if they're not. Fun. Something like that. And then with our black, we can kind of go over those outlines again and get some fun detailing, those details that we love doing for our birch trees. I'm just kind of outlining those again real quick. So then I just kind of like, so for the details on the birch bark, you can kind of just pull some black here and there. Really can't go wrong. Don't really think too hard about that. We're just kind of scratching and pulling some black paint there. How about it? That's a fun one. All right, I gotta see these photos when you guys are done. These are gonna be pretty. I just know it. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me despite all of our technical difficulties. I broke a brush. I dropped water all over my canvas several times. So thank you guys so much for painting with me. Seeing your paintings brings me joy and has been bringing me joy over these weeks. So thank you so much. Thank you for Jana Marie Foundation for putting on these awesome wellness breaks. I will continue painting with Jana Marie Foundation for the month of May. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I am so going to be there continuing painting along with you guys. Thursdays at 2 o'clock, Jana Marie Foundation. Show them some love. You have shown me so much love. Thank you so much. This is Jackie from Paint with Jackie, and I'll see you next time, guys.